Hello, Fan Day Nation. Welcome to another episode of Courtside Vision, where we talk about everything basketball, whether it's NCAA, NBA, or even the WNBA. I'm here with FDN insider JC, and also with an FDN member, Matthew, here to talk about NBA playoffs, specifically about the Lakers. These past couple days, the Lakers have not been looking too well, down 3-1 to Minnesota. Lost 2 games there, and they host the next game, Game 5, here in Los Angeles. But kind of want to cover that. Kind of want to cover how LeBron's doing, Luka Doncic and all them. So we'll start with you, JC. As far as the 3-1 deficit for the Lakers, kind of like how do you feel about the series and kind of what's going well for Minnesota and what's not going well for the Lakers and just your overall thoughts?
Minnesota's whole team is playing. Like, the bench players is really contributing. Anthony Edwards is looking like the man. Julius Randle is having one hell of a series. Mm-hmm. He's really coming out and having a great series. Jaden McDaniels is having like a all-star series. If you would have told me he was dropping 30 this series, I wouldn't. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, Jaden McDaniels is really coming out. They're playing really solid defense. And I don't know, it just got weird in Minnesota. Like, Luka got sick, and then the next game, I think JJ kind of like left all the starters out from like pretty much third quarter, second half, pretty much the whole second half. He kind of just left the whole starting 5 out there, and I think that was kind of like a bad idea because like some of those shots that I seen them missing, like Luka had a drive where he gets Nas Reed off his shoulder and he gets him right to the layup and he just misses it. Yeah. And then Brian misses an open lay. He smokes a layup cutting. And I was just like, oh man, this looks like fatigue. Like, this looks like fatigue. Yeah. And a lot of turnovers at the end. You could tell they was a little tired. So that was weird. Like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe JJ is a little nervous. Or maybe he's like overanalyzing things. Like, okay, we got a long layoff on the next day, so maybe I could just leave these guys out there to win this game. Because it was kind of a must-win game. Yeah. But, I don't know, the coaching, I feel like, is kind of lacking. I feel like they're kind of getting out-coached this series, and I feel like their offense isn't really clicking on all cylinders, something that we was kind of worried about before they got into the playoffs. But that's pretty much the series to me. I feel like they're getting out-coached, and I feel like it's little things they're not executing on the floor that lose these close games, because these games are close. And they're leading going into like the fourth quarter, and they're losing. So like, I think these games, they could have won these games, but they're getting out coached. That's my assessment on it. I feel like they're getting out coached. What about you guys?
Yeah, I gotta completely agree with you. I think in terms of like LeBron didn't play the best the first 2 games, but they kind of got away with it. Right. But then you also had like Luka was going crazy. Like Luka has been playing like what Luka does, and Reeves, I mean, it's definitely like he hasn't had that one standout performance, but he's still performing with some points. I think he got into foul trouble the last in game 4. Yeah. But then you also think they're playing. Jackson Hayes is not playing well at all. They played him completely off the court. We thought that was going to be Rudy Gobert, but Rudy's doing okay on the defensive end. He's just not doing anything on offense. And then, like you said, Jaden McDaniels is playing lights out. The one game he didn't play well, you also see that's the game that they lost. And then I just think with the same 5 going into the second half, I think like what you said, like their shots were short. They weren't hitting shots that they would usually hit. But I also think they need another offensive weapon because Goodwin's not playing good right now. Gabe Vincent's, I mean, he's doing his thing. I mean, putting in a couple threes a game, but I genuinely think that they need to use Dalton Connect more. I think he's going to be like the X factor because it'll bring another offensive threat. I know he's a defensive liability, but if you're looking at the defense right now, they're not doing too hot either way. So putting him on there, at least getting another offensive threat out there, getting the ball off of Luka and LeBron's hands for a little bit just to get them some rest. But I think the issue has been offensively and defensive the ball. Like, they've just not been playing their best. And like you said, I think just being out-coached, I think JJ is not used to this playoff atmosphere. I mean, playing all 5 guys, you can just see, like, they were fatigued. And obviously, Game 3 was pretty close, too. But when it comes to those late-game situations, I think it's more coaching and setting up those plays to get their shots open than the actual players doing that. So I just think I think it's very possible for them to come back just because of how close these games are. But they're just gonna have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think you guys like got it on the head, like with all your insights. Like, I think the coaching is a little inexperienced. Like the last game, especially, like going 5 straight quarters. Like, I wish I saw Vando a little bit. I wish I saw Gabe Vincent a bit. Like, just to give some guys rest, but also I think like especially with those two, like they kind of give some help and they kind of have some type of shot making, like for Gabe. As far as the defensive end, you see when Vando's in, like they get rebounds, they get stops, and like, the energy's a little different. So, like I get like it's a must-win game, quote unquote, and like you're going with the 5 that you believe like it gets you the win. And I personally think like we should have won that game for Game 4. I even think for Game 3, but like you could just tell, yeah, like the body fatigue, like they're like during the stretch, like especially those last 5 minutes, like. We're going iso ball with Luka Doncic like every play. Like there was no going on, there was no actions. You could kind of tell like everyone was kind of tired. Like even on the defensive end, like 50-50 balls as far as like trying to get off rebounds and like just get those little hustle plays. You just see like Julius Randle's the one who's outworking everyone, and Rudy Gobert is up there. No one's really boxing him out, so it's kind of tough. It's a tough situation, but I think we could really turn around. Like, as crazy as this sounds, like as a Laker fan, I think we could still win in 7 games. But the next 3 games, like we really have to have like a really perfect game, and LeBron's got to show out of like he has been. Luka, of course, but the supporting cast has to show out a little bit more. I know, like
I think it's the supporting cast more than anything because that's
they got to rebound. They don't get no rebounds. Like
not only that, but the points wise. I mean, if you're looking at the points, it's all coming from Reeves, LeBron, and Luka, and like nobody else.
Yeah, like Rui had a really good game last game, but like you said, like I think it has to be like a whole collective. Like everyone has to try and go up for at least 10. Defensively, we got to get stops. Like, and I didn't.
If you're looking at the Warriors too, like the Warriors, like you see, like the supporting cast, like Pods yesterday, and then Buddy Hield has been stepping up. And when Jimmy was out Game 3, Gary Payton Jr. had like 16 points. Like that's what the Lakers need. They need their supporting cast to actually contribute for them.
But they have a much better offense. Like they're not even putting Rui in situations where he can get the ball and score in a good situation. Like they just got him out there screening for Luka to try to get the switch when he don't get just rescreen, and then go to the corner. Like it's nasty offense out there, man. It's like I don't know. It's like the only time I see them have success is when they try to run that horn set that they actually used to run with AD over there. And they kind of run that, and they kind of find some success out of that. But, like, that's only far and few between. I don't think they use that much because I think the Wolves are on that. Like, you dump and you cut. I mean, that's pretty much all you got. And then you got Luka and Brian playing one-on-one from that corner position.
I don't even think Braun scored a single point in the fourth quarter this last game, too.
He did really good on the defensive end. And it was a lot that he was doing on the defensive end. That's why I'm kind of upset that they lost this game because I don't think you'll get the same type of defensive effort that you got out of Bron. It was kind of crazy. Like, the stunt and recovery, you see him guys stunting and recovering that he was doing on Anthony Edwards, and, like, he was really putting an effort on that end. You're not going to get that the next couple games. Like, the next game, he's not going to be doing all that. Like, he's going to take a little bit off, and he's probably going to focus a little bit more on the offense end where he can give a little bit more energy. But a game like that, it hurts. It hurts to lose a game like that when you know you're 40-year-old out there giving an effort like that.
His age really showed at the end of that game.
You can fatigue for sure because
definitely fatigue.
You look at LeBron 5 years ago, like that last 3 that he shot with like less than a minute left, we're up 2, and that's kind of like what switched. Like he's not shooting that like far 3. Like if he was like LeBron that we know, he's going downhill, get a
better percentage shot.
Yeah, like against the Pacers when he was in Miami, like that famous shot.
Like he's gonna try and get a bucket, get downhill where it's like easier for him. So I think like fatigue definitely played a part. But at the same time, like Anthony Edwards, like that man he's unstoppable. Like, and I think they did a great job of like trying to get switches. So like him trying to get Luke on him or Rui taking care of the mismatch. And I think it's been a little hard for us Lakers because especially that small ball lineup for Minnesota, I feel like 1 through 5 they could relatively guard everyone. Like even though Nas Reed is kind of like the guy that they're trying to go after and stuff, like with Luka, like that's the switch that they're trying to get, or Randall. Like those guys are doing their job. They're staying down, staying in front, and they're getting stops at the end of the day. And then yeah, on the other end, like I feel like if we cut the production of Jaden McDaniels, and I think he's been the guy who's kind of been like the swing man who's really dictating the series. We get some stops from Randall, and I think Randall's playing exceptional. Like him knowing like he hasn't been the best in the playoffs, but this series he's been really good. And then Edwards, if you kind of stop their production a little bit, I think we could really take a couple games, because you got to think about it. These next 3 games, 2 of them, if necessary, 2 of them are in LA, which is like incredible. And then you just got to win 1 in Minnesota. And we know we've seen it before. Like as bad as we're playing, we could have won 1 of those 2. So
they gotta play Vando. They're not even using Vando for his defense like they're how they're supposed to. Like there's too many possessions where I see Austin Reeves on Nas Reed or Austin Reeves on Rudy. It's kind of cool for him to stick Rudy because Rudy kind of struggles on the offensive end, but like he ain't gonna struggle that much where you got the little guy on him and he can't just turn around, just put it in the basket. He could do that at least. And too many possessions like that where I see Nas Reeves getting Austin Reeves on him. He's like, oh, I can get this. This is a bucket. Like you asking Austin Reeves to do too much, and then that's why he can't score as much as he can on the offensive end.
You gotta give credit to Minnesota though. They're playing really well right now.
They are.
I mean, as much as I want to make excuses for the Lakers, Minnesota's playing really well right now. Yeah. They look good, and Anthony Edwards is showing his what he can do.
Yeah, they're doing their job. I feel like they're doing their. I expected them to kind of do something like this. I didn't expect Jaden McDaniels to have this great of a thing, but I did expect Julius Randle to come in to play okay. I did expect Anthony Edwards to be Anthony Edwards. I just didn't expect like Austin Reeves to kind of get outplayed by Jaden McDaniels and Julius Randle. Like
you kind of see Jaden McDaniels has like a little playoff like heater, because last year against the Suns he was hitting some threes too. He had some good games, so I was like, Jaden McDaniels is a little different in the playoffs.
Especially that first round. That's probably his round. Like he's probably telling everybody, like, I'm gonna come out this round. Next round, y'all got it. This round, let me rock.
And like last thing that I'm gonna say, as far as like the reason why I feel like Minnesota's up 3-1 and the Lakers are down 3-1, is I feel like Minnesota close out quarters really well. Like especially like crunch time, fourth quarter, or even just like in the half, like. If they're down by a lot, they're trying to get that lead down. Like they're hitting shots. Like you see it. Like Nas Reed
that's when Nas Reed comes in, right?
When they need a bucket, he's gonna get that ball in the hole. Anthony Edwards, when they need a bucket, he's gonna get that ball in the hole. Like I feel like the Lakers closing out quarters have been like horrendous. Like we have the lead. Luka misses a wide open layup, then they go on an 8-point swing to like cut down the lead and have to come back in a smaller lead compared to, let's say, I was 8 points on the board. So I think if Lakers start closing out quarters and take care of the ball and get timely shots and make timely shots, I think we'll be in a good place to win these next 3 games if we can.
Oof, Lakers in 7?
That's the only thing that they maxed it out, so it has to be Lakers.
It gotta be 7.
Not 5.
Not 5, right? Not 5.
Definitely not 5, but yeah, definitely Lakers in 7. But it's not a for sure.
Not easy. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna be easy. But anyways, Fan Day Nation, thank you guys for tuning in to Courtside Vision, where we talk about everything basketball. Hopefully the Lakers can come back. We don't want to see LeBron booted out the first round again, but we'll see what happens, especially coming this Wednesday, Lakers hosting Minnesota. I want to thank JC and Matthew for hopping on and sharing their insights. Be on the lookout for more NBA basketball content, especially since the playoffs are still here. And I know the WNBA is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.